Graham, another busy night at Cage Warriors. Things that are sticking out to me before we get to the main event. We've got the gorgeous curls of Sean Carter again. That looks like a good fight to me.
Sean Carter and Joe McClellan. It's a big test for Joe McClellan to fight someone of Sean Carter's experience. But Joe in his very young professional career has been an experienced guy, so Sean's no big challenge to him in the sense of fighting experienced guys, but it's certainly a big fight in his career to be able to take Sean out. And Sean feels he's a bit of a guy that Joe needs to beat to step forward, so it's going to be an interesting fight.
He's a character, and it's one of the first times I've seen him weigh in afterwards. Very little shaking hands. It seemed to be quite a little narky affair.
Yeah, he's coming off a loss, so I think Sean means business, and you know, maybe he's a little bit insulted that he's been matched against a guy that's got a lot less record of him, a lot less fights. But Joe's a big up-and-comer. Sean's been there and done it. Sean's coming off a loss, kind of needs to prove himself, so it's a big fight.
We've seen Hakan Foss back on the bill. Last time we saw him, I think, was it Bournemouth or was it Newport? I can't remember.
Hakan would have fought at Bournemouth, yeah. So Hakan's come back, he's fighting on the main card. I'd like to see, I think it was London actually where Hakan might have made his last loss. He's coming off a loss. I'd like to see Hakan come back and show the fighter that he really is. I don't think he was in the office mentally for that last fight against Craig White, I believe is who the fight was. And I'd like to see him bounce back and see where he's at against Alex. Yeah.
Looking at the main event, we're looking at Josh. He's up against Nathaniel. Nathaniel has got all the fighting instincts you need, doesn't it? Well, he looks like he does. And also, Nathaniel is a pro. He's going into Brad's gym every day. And there's Josh, and he's going out, he's decorated, and then going to the gym at night. What difference does that make?
It makes a huge difference, the level of people that you're training with. Nathaniel is training with Brad and all the guys at Titan. There's a solid camp up there. Those guys are training daily. They're training like professionals should be training. Josh, I believe, holds down a job, trains in the evening. He's got Jack Marshman down there, a UFC vet at this point now, who he's training with too, and he's got Jack Shore and Chris Edwards down there. So he's got a solid camp too, but I'm not sure he's getting the type of training hours that Nathaniel would be getting in, because Nathaniel's kind of living that pro life, you know. So, but Josh has never lost. He doesn't know how to lose, you know. So it's going to be a very interesting main card bout. Nathaniel's got the more experience, mental headset, I believe, because he's been there and done it one too many times. It's all fresh to Josh, and it's the biggest fight of his career tomorrow night.
Nathaniel likes to stand and punch, and I think Josh would admit that getting him on the floor is probably going to be the best thing for him. So we are going to see a tussle, aren't we?
Yeah, so, very much so. Nathaniel's very technical, standing up. He's got great hands. Selects where he wants to put his shots and puts them there. You know, he did that with Vaughan Lee in Liverpool and took him out in a great fashion with the striking that he has. Josh is wild with his hands. The last show we did in Wales, I think it was Gavin Kelly he fought, and he took out Gavin Kelly with a barrage of punches that just came from everywhere. And they didn't look as crisp as Nathaniel's striking, but the ferocity and the intensity in his punching once he goes, it's something, you know, it's a storm that you better have a lot in you to be able to weather that storm and carry on. But if he gets him to the ground, it's a different story again. It's a different fight.
Does Nathaniel keep the belt? And if he does, is he looking at UFC?
Nathaniel keep the belt. I don't know. It's a fight. It's a fight. You don't know what's going to happen. Based on records, paper says probably he does. But it's a fight, and once that cage door shuts, no one knows what's going to happen in there. Records go out the window. If he wins, you know, he should be on the UFC's radar. Whether he goes immediately or not, I don't know, because that bantamweight division in the UFC is quite stacked. He may have to have one or two more, but he's definitely on the radar, yeah.
And just finally, the Conor McGregor fight against Floyd Mayweather, what did it do for MMA? Good, bad, or are people in the MMA ambivalent towards it anyway?
I think it gave that whole fight and everything that went around it gave the sport of mixed martial arts some serious credibility. You have a mixed martial artist who's a two-time world champion in Cage Warriors and the UFC, and Conor McGregor, who's never had a professional boxing bout in his life, turned pro, and his first fight, his debut professional boxing match, is against the best boxer in the world, Floyd Mayweather, and he goes 10 rounds with him. I don't think there's many boxers out there can say or slag off MMA in terms of the fighters and the athletes' striking ability after that bout in general, you know. Maybe some of them should come into the cage and try what Conor did in the ring. But for a mixed martial artist to go 10 rounds on a pro debut, the best fighter in the world, you got to give respect to the athletes in the sport.